Okay, here I am at day 2 on the 2006 Lincoln Town Car, cleaning it up, trying to do a detail. So I'm working on the headlights. Now this one I've done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So I'm working on this other one here. Um, they were pretty cloudy, just like all plastic headlights. If you were a piece of plastic laying out in the sun for 15 years, how would you look? So what I do is, you can go buy kits and everything, but I'm trying to not spend a ton of money. I'm retired. I don't need to. I got plenty of time. I might do it over again, but I start out with just a 400 and just go across it and just sand, right? Sand the whole thing. Don't sand your paint. And then you can run your finger across it, and you can feel little ridges, and that needs more sanding. And when you don't like this area here, it's nice and smooth all the way up and down. After the 400, this is wet and dry. I use, what is it? I got a 600 and then a 1,000 grit. You can go all the way up to 3,000, but I couldn't find anywhere around here without having to wait 12 days. Can't believe it. Got a Lowe's, but they have 2,000, but I just thought I'd try this. Besides, a lot of this sandpaper's been used before, so I think the grit gets to 5,000 after it's used, you know what I mean? So I do that, and then after that, you can see all that yellow. That's the yellow part of the lens that you're trying to get off. After that, I just use one of these that I have laying around, and I just use regular polishing compound, cheap, like $8. This will last me 10 years. Um, I do have some of this too. You can also use some of this, but I use a lot of it. And then I just go across the lens, you know. Don't leave it in one spot, just go across it. Did that about 5 times, and it seems to have brought it back. I can't stand those yellow plastic headlights. Now I did my van, I started out, they were real yellow, but I've had this thing for a while. Every time I wash it, I use this in a rag, and it gets a little bit off. You can, they've got so many kits. There's so many kits out there trying to get your money. You can spend $50 buying a bunch of stuff. But it's going to turn yellow again. Oh yeah, you can put a clear coat on it or ceramic coat, but you know what? It's plastic. It's going to get yellow again. So, unlike these old Mercedes that I have, they have glass headlights. Never have to mess with it. But they went to plastic because it's easier to mold into weird shapes. So one thing I discovered today, I don't know if it's true or not, but I found this. Appears to be a slug. And I found it wedged down in here, below here, and I had to get it out with a screwdriver. I was trying to figure out what the heck is this thing. Some people say it's a 38 caliber. And I was going, aha, there's a dent in this car. I wonder if it came from that. Check that out. So I bet you somebody shot at this car. It's huge. And it hit right here, ricocheted, went over the top and down and under and lodged right there. Now I had John, the grandson, ask his grandpa how did that dent get there? And I showed him a picture of this, and that, like I just showed you. And his grandfather replied, he has no idea how that dent got there. But at the time he was living in an area where, you know, I did live in Moreno Valley. And sometimes there's gangs out there and stuff like that. So who knows, you know, maybe when this thing was newer, somebody was jealous. Can you imagine that? Weird. Anyway, so today I'm just going to work on the headlights. I'm trying to get the virtual DMV here in California and get this thing transferred over. And it's like, oh, what a pain in the butt. I mean, it's not horrible, but I could not complete it because they want a smog certificate. So I have to go get this thing smogged. You know, I would like to clean this engine up a little bit before the smog tech gets in there and checks everything. We failed you for a dirty engine, I'm sorry. But it always helps when they see everything's clean and everything, they check it off and it passes. So that's another thing I gotta get done. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. Okay, I have this thing sanded. About as much as I want to do to it, you can still see some spots here. The buffer should be able to get all this stuff out, but a lot of this has just gone through the plastic, and you might never be able to get it out. Now they do sell replacement headlights for this for about, I don't know, $200 bucks. You can get the whole assembly for 2 of them. I might do that in the future, but I don't know. You know, I'm not that picky. I just wanted to project. You know, unlike my neighbor's car that has never been washed. Those headlights are like just so, I don't even know how they put light out. You ever see cars going down the road and the headlights are all yellowed and stuff, and they have hardly any light coming out of it? It's just illuminating just an area. That's what you don't want. Okay. Flash forward. Okay, I got put the wheel on it. Came out nice and clear. Still imperfections, but you know what? Looks okay to me. Made it a lot cleaner. So now, yeah, I could probably do it again. But every time I use a polishing compound in the rag, when I wash it, it'll end up being nice and clear, like that one there. Yeah. Now on to more fun stuff. Got the top of the engine cover off. Now I'm just going to be getting some of this dust off, and then I'm going to blow it out with the compressed air. Then I'm going to squirt my orange cleaner on there, and then I'm going to use my steam cleaner that's charging up right there. And this thing works pretty good. It's does that to it. So it shall be clean. And it's done. Took me maybe, what, 2.5 hours to clean it up. Not perfect, but a lot better than before. Now we can actually see what's going on. Hope there's enough light. Got it all clean under there. It was really dirty. And it's just basically that little paintbrush from Lowe's. You know, just a little bit of dust, but nothing like before. So, yeah. Highly encourage it. Highly encourage. Now this engine says, now I can breathe. a lot of that dust ends up trapping heat. It doesn't dissipate the heat because the dust is holding it in. So you're doing a favor to your engine and keeping it clean. Yeah, baby. There it is. What's next? Next, I have to go get it tested for emissions. Luckily, there's no codes. Then after that, I'll wash it, and then I'll use the clay bar on it. What the clay bar does is it takes all the impurities out of the paint, makes it baby smooth, and then you wax it. And then it looks really good. I got a new chrome license plate holder, and I'm also going to cut. I have plexiglass, thick plexiglass that I inherited, and I cut it and I put it over the plate. It gives it kind of a classy look and keeps the license plate clean. Yeah, I am OCD, but you know what? During COVID, what are you gonna do? You gotta stay busy. Now this car, my wife needs to have an operation. It was scheduled for last, it was scheduled for Monday. Well, we've been waiting 3 months for this operation, and she's got some kind of pain that just won't go away, and they figured out what's wrong. It took us like a couple of years to figure it out. And they called up and said, oh, we're canceling your surgery due to COVID, so we don't know when it's gonna happen. No timeline on that, but this is the car that I'm gonna take her up to the hospital and all that stuff to get that taken care of. One thing, radiator hose looks to be original. Hoses might need to be replaced. They're still pliable, but it's age. It's an age factor. Anyways, the sun's going down. It's Miller time.